All right, chapter 4 discussion. Um, yes, Gulliver is not regarded very highly in the floating island of Laputa. He doesn't. He has a smattering of mathematics and music, but that is the only thing that is valued there. And he basically ends up having conversations with more kind of the kind of the just the servants of the place, and he decides he's going to leave. He does find one guy there that he actually can have a conversation with, but basically he's considered ignoramus because he has no ear for music, and he's only got the rudiments of mathematics. Though he has done a lot of services for the kingdom, is a really useful guy, but he doesn't have the two things that they value, and thus he is just considered just nah, we're useless basically, even though he's actually one of the more useful guys there. He gets the majesty to give him permission to go out, gives him a letter of introduction to a fellow down below in this town, um, of Barbin Barbignag, or what the heck is it called? Oh, I'm on the wrong chapter anyways. The B one. Here, I can look it up. I can look it up there as I'm talking. So he goes down there and he finds that, like, oh god, this place is in chaos. That none of the stuff is actually particularly well well. None of the stuff is like well kept. The fields are not cultivated. He doesn't see any corn, doesn't see any grass, and it's odd. Though the friend that he's been introduced to actually lives in a well kept house, and that everybody's clothed correctly and stuff like that, and but when he kind of comments, it's like, how terrible this place looks, and all that, excluding his host thing, is like, oh, there's different customs from different places. And this says, oh, you can come out to my estate. And he comes out to his estate, and like, as they're going through the countryside, it's like, again, it's a great soil, but nothing's cultivated and stuff like that. And then suddenly he comes into like really good countryside where everything is cultivated, everything is actually working. And this is his host's Monodia's estate. And it turns out Monodia is I guess what you would call a reactionary. He's somebody who actually hasn't gone with the modern techniques, has resisted them, and as such has kind of come under a lot of censure. It's only because he's in good with the monarch that monarch kind of humors him that he's still there, that he hasn't been really censured. But it turns out that there's all these schemes, all these abstract intellectual schemes that have gone swept the country. We're always going to do something new, except they haven't particularly got them to perfection yet, so they all fail horribly. And he points to a ruin by the side of the mountain, which was, I guess these projectors is what they're called, came to him with a plan for making this a new mill, which, like, we'll put it way up here, and because the air is lighter, and the water is lighter because it's coming off the mountain, it'll move faster. And it completely fails, and they just blamed him for it, after having destroyed the actual working mill. And they blamed him for it, and they go on to do it other places where they have equally, again blame the people, and have equally disastrous results. There's definitely things here of, like, I was reading about the next generation after Swift of Samuel Johnson and James Boswell, and a gentleman's education did not include mathematics for the most part. There's this thing of Boswell he finally inherits, like, as a 50-year-old or something, 8-year-old man inherits the his father's estates, and actually takes up the study. It's like, oh, I should learn math now. Having gone through probably, what for the time was fairly extensive education. I mean, even if you're not talking about Boswell, like a lot of other people just had no mathematics, none of that base what we would consider now base stuff. But there's also that thing of just like, it's how impractical stuff is. This is a country where it's all about kind of abstractions, theories, and stuff like that. But they have control, so they impose these schemes on the poor people, um, upending methods that had worked for generations. Um, Now, you take a look at something like how agriculture has shifted. You can say a lot of things about agriculture that aren't, not so great about it today, but it's far more efficient at producing food for a greater people, and that is through science and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah. So that is that chapter of chapter 4, chapter 3. God damn it! I just did chapter 4. Hmm. I don't know if I missed a chapter. Maybe, maybe. Well, we'll find out next week. Next time. More videos later.